Rockeyez would like to welcome PJ, Farley, Trixter. Hey man, what's going on?
Hey Brian, how you doing, buddy?
Great, great. First, I want to thank you for basically always taking care of our site anytime you're in the area and stuff like that with passes and anything we actually want. You always obliged to give us what we want, and I thank you for that.
Anytime, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate the interest.
Yeah. Now, Human Era, New Frontiers record by Trixter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of the songs listening to the CD, you know, might seem like older Trixter songs from the vault, and some of the newer songs have that traditional Trixter sound. I know you and Steve have been playing together for a long time and Throwan Rocks and 40-foot Ringo and stuff like that. How much input did you actually have in writing process of Human Era?
Well, I had a pretty good hand in it. I mean, Steve always has a pretty good handle on a good lion's share of the stuff already in his back pocket. Like when we decided to do this record, he had a good handful of songs to start off with, and really kind of kick-started the whole thing. From there, you know, we started working on those, and you know, any changes that needed to be done to those, or finishing, you know, anything that needed to be completed on those, we did that. And then, you know, then he would just send me some, sometimes just a verse and a chorus or something, and we would finish it from there. Or sometimes he would just finish it on his own. And you know, I mean, we, for the most part, I mean, we came up with, I don't know, I think the first batch was, I think he had like 4 or 5 songs, and we kind of got stumped a little bit towards 10, like 9 or 10. We were like, all right, well, I think we need another song here. And then I actually had, you know, along with the title and the concept of Human Era, I had this song in my head too. I had this chorus and all the melodies and, you know, the arrangement and everything, and I had the idea and what I wanted to do with it, but I just wasn't getting I wasn't getting like the verses out.
Right.
And I told Steve basically, because right from the jump, I told him about the title and everything. He loved it. He was on board with, you know, everybody loved the title and the concept. And then, so I'm like, yeah, dude, let's just, you know, let's finish this tune here, and you know, that'll be number 11, and you know, let's make it the last song in the record. And you know, it's kind of great that it worked out that way. So he, you know, being that he knew exactly where I was going with that song, I mean, he nailed it. He finished it on that, and that was the last song that we came up with. And ironically, it ends the record, and the oldest song on the record starts the record.
Right. Cool.
So that was it's kind of unique.
Right. Now, since you came up with you know, the title for the album, Human Era, what does that mean?
Well, it's kind of a nod to the time when we formed the band and all the things that came along with that. You know, I mean, at first it started as a play on words. You know, back in the Human Era, there was Human Error and all this stuff, and you know, I mean, it was just spinning in my head for a while, and it just got me thinking, especially when we were approached to do this new record. I'm like, you know, we're just shaking our heads like in this day and age of record labels asking us to do not only a record but another one. You know, and like, you know, it's the 4 bozos that's you know been together for 25 years, and you know, I think it's a tribute to the Human Era. We started the band back when friends were, you know, bonding on a different level, on a more personal level. You know, we weren't just text friends or email buddies or Facebook friends, or you know, I mean, we really had to, you had to get on the phone. You had to, you know, go to someone's house. If there was a problem, you talk to them face to face. You work it out, and there's something to be said, you know, about a connection like that. And it's, you know, the things that connect us now the most also disconnect us,
right?
Ironically, and you know, it's not a stand against technology by any stretch. You know, it's obviously we're all embracing it. So I mean, it's just I think it's a tribute to how we were able to stay together all these years, and it's a tribute to, you know, why we still are friends and enjoy making music, and on top of that, making the best music that we ever have, I think.
Right, yeah, definitely. Tell me a little bit about the album cover. Who came up with that idea? It's like a retro type cover. Pretty cool.
Yeah, well, we worked with that. We worked with the art department guy Nello over at Frontiers. I had a couple of ideas in my head that I explained to them, and we just kind of went from there. He had some ideas. We both kind of ping-ponged ideas, and me and Steve agreed that we need to have something reminiscent of who we are and what it's a diner, and we got the Corvette in there with the Trixter license plate.
Right.
Our buddy Vinny, there was the one that was in the Give It To Me Good video.
Right.
My original concept was to have some sort of like, me and Steve were talking about like maybe a old bar scene with like a group of guys playing, old school in a bar somewhere where, people smoking and drinking, but then also, maybe like, I don't know, just kind of to touch on that kind of, that era.
Right.
But, the old school diner, especially for us, I mean, that rings true with us. I mean, it came together nice. I think he did a great job on it.
Right. Now, since your comeback in 2008, and you have 2 albums out since that, are you going to keep this going and make more records with Frontiers Records or whoever?
Your guess is as good as ours. I mean, really, when we were asked to do this record, it wasn't really on our radar. I mean, it wasn't something that we didn't want to do. It just we weren't thinking about it. We weren't talking about it. It was just going into the summer, so we were getting ready to do some shows, and they were like, "Do you guys want to do another record?" So we said, "Yeah, why not?"
Great.
So I mean, if the if the call comes in and again, and we're asked, we possibly could. I mean, I think we're on a little bit of a roll here. I think
right,
we've kind of rediscovered ourselves.
I mean,
in the same respect, taking from our past, but also updating it in a subconscious kind of way, because there's no conscious effort to try to sound like this band Trixter,
right?
That came out in 1990. We couldn't possibly do that. So, being that we are the band Trixter, we just write the way we write, and it's coming out the way it does. Cool.
Now, you had a live album a few years back. Is there any possibility of another live album?
I don't know. Again, that's nothing that we've really talked about. I mean,
right.
We put a live record out because we did that record in Japan, and we were sitting on that for so long. And when we came out in 2008, we wanted to have something, to offer, and we've always wanted to put that out.
Right.
So I mean, I think a band of our stature putting out a live record anyway was a bit a tall order. So I mean, we did it because we want to, but whether there's demand for another live Trixter record, I don't really know, but we'll see.
Right. I'm sure you have more shows coming up, in 2015. Is there any plans, to play some of the new songs live?
Yeah, I mean, depending on our set length, I mean, we do a lot of the festivals where we get anywhere between a half hour and 45 minutes. We're not stupid. We're going to stick to the stuff that the majority of the people there know. And we will do, Rockin' to the Edge of the Night, because regardless of whether you know the song or not, I just think it's going to put everyone in a good mood that day.
Right.
And, we'll see from there. Our headlining shows, I think, we'll try to squeeze in maybe another one.
Yep.
It's funny, we got 4 full-length records, but usually we get to play a half hour, 45 minutes. So, I mean,
Yeah. On the new album, Human Era, do you have any personal favorite songs or any special meaning to any particular song to you?
Well, I definitely think the bookends mean the most to me. Rockin' to the Edge of the Night being that was one of the first songs that we did when I got into the band.
Uh-huh.
So and to relive that and have that on a record is special. And then also Human Era, I think it sums up basically our whole journey, and I think it means a lot to all of us, and it also feels good. I mean, I think it's a perfect last song on the record, kind of bookends the record really nice. Also, there's songs like For You, which are just, there's some amazing playing on that song. I mean, there's everyone's just kicking ass on that, on 11. And, a song like Midnight in Your Eyes, which is a little bit, quote unquote darker for Trixter, but, I like it a lot because it is something different, and it's still very much Trixter, but it's a little bit of a different side of us. And, we definitely have a happy, good rockin' record, but, we have those moments where we can,
Right.
we can toughen up for a little bit, and, and Pete's singing amazing on it.
Right.
It's,
definitely.
It's just a great tune.
Cool. Now, in New Jersey, where you're from, there's a debut festival coming to Jersey this year, and it's called the Food Truck Rock Carnival. I don't know. You heard about it?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's in Clark, New Jersey, which is only like 5 minutes, 10 minutes from my house. You know, you see all these bands, and they're looking for new bands. Is there a possibility of Trixter being on that bill?
Well, I think they are. I don't know if I should say it or not. I think they're kind of saving us for next year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go to it.
That's what I was told.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go to this show, and stuff like that, and then,
Yeah, definitely go. I hope everybody goes.
Grow.
I hope everybody goes, because that means that there will be next year, and we will be there.
Right. You played the Stanhope House, last month and stuff like that? Your home turf and stuff like that?
Yeah, beginning of May, yeah.
Right. Is there any other Jersey shows coming up?
Not right now, but we'll definitely have something. I would say probably, in the fall or something like that. We usually come back around November, do something.
Right. Also, M3, I think you played that show 2 or 3 times and stuff like that. Are you going to be a regular on that tour?
They generally like to stay away from repeats, like back-to-back years. But I mean, obviously, we'll play it every time they ask. It's always a pleasure and a great time. It's one of the best festivals out there, and there's no doubt that we'll be there anytime they ask. So, if they want us back next year, we're there. So
cool. Is there any possibility of Monsters of Rock cruise? I know you guys would love that. That
too. I mean, I think we have been asked, I think, for this past one, I think, and just didn't work out for us. And but no, I mean, I was talking about this before in another interview. We get so many people asking about us to be on Monsters of Rock more than any other place or any other festival or anything, anywhere. We get more requests to be on that ship, and we definitely want to be on it. It's just got to make sense for us. Logistically, so, but I really hope it works out. I know there's one on the West Coast next year too, so hopefully there's 2, maybe we can work it out. But we definitely want to get on that.
Cool. I know, many years back and stuff, you had, a lot of bands have side projects and stuff like that. You have anything else coming up?
I do. I've been working on a solo record for many moons that I stop because I'm doing other things, and once we finished the Human Error record, I told Steve, I'm like, while we're in mode right here, let me bang out a couple more tunes, because I did them all up at Steve's because it's the easiest. It's I'm just comfortable up there, and we work the best together. So I'm like 90% done with that.
Cool, great. I can't wait to hear that. So tell me a little bit about the difference between Trixter, back in the day compared to now. Like how's the audience reaction and stuff like that?
Well, it's kind of funny because I mean, now people are. I sound like Kiss saying this, but I mean, it's like we see people bringing their kids and kids wearing Trixter shirts and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely different in that respect. Playing to different generations now, which is cool.
Right.
So we got that going for us. But everybody's just been really, really cool, and especially with the new material. I mean, really, really receptive. I mean, the minute we put out New Audio Machine and we played like Tattoos and Misery, and we always played Machine on like our headline shows. I mean, they really were receptive to that stuff, and you know, we wanted to play it, so we were playing it anyway. But I don't think we were expecting the reaction that we got for those songs. You know, especially Tattoos and Misery. It's just, you know, they were really well received, and so that just made me feel like, wow, you know, you guys, you know, at least the people in front of us, whenever we go out there, are fans, and they're there to see us, and they're there because they love the music, and so I mean that's always impressive to me.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Is it uncomfortable when like a personal friend asks for an autograph?
When a personal friend?
Yeah. You know, like you see a friend from school back in the day, you know, when you were going to school and stuff, and then they see you again and say, "Oh man, you know, whatever."
Yeah, it's kind of awkward. It's kind of goofy. I feel like a complete idiot when that happens. You know, that happened to me one time years ago. I was in a bar, and a girl I went to school with came up to me. I thought she would just come up and say hi. She's like, "Can I have your autograph?" And I'm like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Come on, I cannot. I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't right now. I really don't want to do this for you right now. I couldn't bring myself to sign a piece of paper for you. I went to school with you."
Right.
And not like one of those. I grew up. I had such a small high school. Like it wasn't like there was 800 people in my school, and I kind of knew this person. Like I knew this person.
Wow.
And just really, it just threw me off, and it just wasn't. It doesn't sit well.
Right. It don't. You know. Did Frontiers give you any kind of stipulations when you were going to record?
Not at all.
No.
They definitely tried to keep us on a schedule that we couldn't keep, but no stipulations at all. No, they didn't. We didn't hear from them until you know, one or two times. You know, how's it coming along? But that's about it.
Right. Wow.
They're really respectful of the process and respectful of the even our timeline. We were like, listen, you know, we couldn't make their deadlines at first, and so they were really lenient and just really easy to work with.
Right.
It's something I've never said about a record label before.
Yeah, I bet. You know, when you guys play live, is there any kind of things or whatever you want on your tour rider, or if there is a tour rider anymore?
Yeah, no, there is actually. Yeah, man, we get one towel and one bottle of water.
And 4 straws. Yeah.
We can still pull those kind of things backstage. Yeah. If there is a backstage.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, whether it's the dressing room or the kitchen. Yeah, I mean, nothing really special. I mean, we're,
right.
We're easygoing. We're we were never really that band to put silly things on our rider.
Right.
Just the basics. Little whiskey, little booze, little beer, little water, some energy drinks, and all the standard stuff.
Right. Now, is there any special moment? I know the band's been going a long time. Is there any highlight that really sticks out in your mind being a member of Trixter?
Yeah, I mean the first time we played the Meadowlands was the zenith, I think, of our career. I think just being able to come back home really at the start of the peak of our record, and we got our gold records that night. We had a gold record party upstairs at the Meadowlands. All our friends and family, all other bands were there. It was like I was living a dream, and we were presented by MTV, our gold records, and it was just it was the exact scenario we dreamt of.
Right. Wow.
So that moment in particular was just kind of like, wow.
Right. What's the feelings towards a festival compared to a Stanhope House?
Well, headlining gigs are fun and not so fun.
Right.
Because bands in our genre, we're kind of like a football team. There's power in numbers. We're better as a team instead of just one guy on a team. So, festivals, we know that it's fun for the crowd. More people will be there. all the bands are usually friends, so it's a great atmosphere to go into. It's not like back in the day between all the bands, you're in separate dress rooms, and everyone thought they were hot shit, and nobody talked to each other. I mean, now all the bands we're all just happy to be there, and we're all having a catering together and whatnot. So that's fun. And like I said, more importantly, the ticket buyer goes. They know they're going to see 3 to 6 bands that they love, and they're going to have a whole day of it. It's going to be awesome. It's just such a great atmosphere. Doing the clubs or headlining shows, it's great because we get to stretch out a bit,
Right.
and really kind of take over and have a little bit more fun. We in our headlining shows, we tend to get carried away. We talk, we goof around. We'll have a drink with you. We'll play some stuff we don't really get to play. So, our only concern is hopefully, the turnout's good.
Wow. Are you surprised, like, from back in the day to now, some of them really diehard Trixter fans always stuck by your side? Like one of my writers, Mark Ballo, he'll go to California if we play. He don't care, I just want to know, how's the feeling, like, these people are like your legion, and they stuck with you back in the day, and then still today, they still have that passion for Trixter.
Yeah, it's funny. I totally understand the concept of people who just, who go see their favorite bands, even their favorite band from back in the day, and are still attached these days. I get that concept. When I see it applied to, my band, I'm always just beyond flattered.
Right.
I mean, it's, but I have plenty of friends that, still follow their favorite bands and stuff like that, and so I'm familiar with people who do that. So it's great, and it's awesome when I see people doing it for us.
Right. What bands do you listen to?
That's a funny question. What have I been listening to? God, it's so funny. Well, I play music every day.
Right.
So when I get in the car, usually in the car is the only time I will listen to music, and a lot of the times I don't. So I'll listen to Howard Stern, or I'll just enjoy. I got 2 little daughters, so I get in my car, go in peace and quiet.
Yeah.
But or on planes, I listen to music all the time. I listen to anything from Hall & Oates, Winery Dogs, Seven Dust, a band called Seosin, then some of the classics from Zeppelin. It depends. And I get on, I'll get a hankering for some, Dio or God knows what.
Right. Are you guys already writing material for the next album?
No.
No, not yet.
No, we're just celebrating the win. We're just enjoying the win.
Wow. PJ Farley, Trixter, man, it's great talking to you, and I appreciate everything you've done for our site, and you're awesome, man. You're really awesome to us, and I appreciate that. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there before ending?
Well, first of all, the feeling is mutual. You're awesome to us, so anytime, you guys are more than welcome anywhere we are. And to the people listening, thanks for listening. Thanks for clicking the button and hearing what I had to say. I appreciate that. And now go on YouTube or to TrixterRocks.com and see what we got to play.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.